How the US soldiers could annihilate the enemy forces during the Vietnam War, the First Gulf War, and Iraq War. It was due to a lethal piece of artillery that could fire 105 millimeters of gigantic bullets, destroying camps and even tanks. It could fire a 15-kilogram projectile with a speed of 494 meters per second. Not only that, but soldiers could use it, rotating it 360 degrees, without needing to readjust it. With firing 10 rounds per minute, the US military could literally wipe out enemies, their bases, and armored vehicles. But what are we talking about? Welcome to the Ancient Talks, a channel where we explain and try to make sense of some of the most bizarre and mysterious objects and phenomena scientists and archaeologists cannot explain about. We bring out some unexplained mysteries to discover whether they are myths or realities. This journey will confront us with ancient objects and artifacts that mark a different history and truths than we know. In this video, we will reveal the deadliest piece of US artillery of all time. Let's get started. Imagine yourself transported to the early spring of 1966, amidst the captivating landscapes of Vietnam. It is here where a groundbreaking masterpiece emerged on the battlefield, the state-of-the-art 105mm towed M102 howitzer. This remarkable innovation forever changed the landscape of artillery practices. Yet even in the face of this extraordinary advancement, experienced artillerymen initially held reservations. For years, they had developed an unbreakable bond with the reliable M101A1 howitzer, a faithful companion that had supported American and Allied forces since the Second World War. The techniques to use the M101A1 were etched deeply into their minds, creating a sense of unwavering familiarity. Consequently, the introduction of the M102 howitzer triggered a wave of skepticism among these seasoned veterans. Reluctant to part with their trusted old cannon, they hesitated, their loyalty unwavering. However, their concerns were swiftly dispelled as the M102 howitzer quickly won their hearts, becoming an invaluable asset within the United States Armed Forces arsenal in a matter of months. This modern artillery piece was highly praised for its unparalleled flexibility, unyielding accuracy, and impressive lightweight design. Now let us take a journey back to the origins of this remarkable transformation. In 1960, the US Army recognized the necessity for a lightweight successor to the venerable 105mm M101 howitzer, which had faithfully served as the standard bearer since the Second World War. This mighty weapon had accompanied troops through the European and Pacific theaters, as well as the Korean War. In response to this pressing requirement, ingenious engineers at the Army's Rock Island Arsenal worked tirelessly to bring forth the M102 105mm howitzer, a true marvel of its time. Crafted from welded aluminium, this lightweight powerhouse was designed with the sole purpose of providing direct support fires to light, airborne, and air assault forces. The howitzer possessed the capacity to launch a 33-pound projectile, skillfully propelled by semi-fixed ammunition, soaring through the skies for an astonishing distance of 7.14 miles. Simply, it could destroy on-foot enemy soldiers, tanks, and even flying jets. With a muzzle velocity of 1,620 feet per second, the M102 could unleash a devastating hail of up to 10 rounds per minute during the initial 3 minutes of intense combat, followed by a sustained rate of 3 rounds per minute. The true versatility of the M102 howitzer became apparent when considering its transportation capabilities. After being loaded and expertly positioned, this remarkable artillery piece could be effortlessly towed by a 2-ton truck or a high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicle. Additionally, UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters could smoothly transport it to the heart of battle, while even airborne units displayed the audacity to parachute drop these howitzers with pinpoint accuracy. The emplacement of the M102 showcased its true prowess. Its remarkable volume of fire admirably compensated for the slightly lower explosive weight of its projectiles when compared to larger 155mm howitzers. Moreover, The inclusion of rocket-assisted projectiles extended its impressive range to an astonishing 9.38 miles when necessary. Upon firing, the M102 howitzer assumed a graceful low silhouette, minimizing its vulnerability to enemy counterattacks. Its trail assembly, cleverly designed with a single roller tire, allowed the weapon to rotate a full 360 degrees around the firing platform. The howitzer's elevation capabilities ranged from -5 degrees to a remarkable maximum of 75 degrees, empowering it to dominate the battlefield with its extensive range and precise targeting. Returning to 1962, the prototype of the M102 howitzer rolled off the assembly line at Rock Island Arsenal, followed by the completion of initial production models 3 years later. Eager to prove their mettle, these impressive machines were promptly introduced to the United States Army's 1st Battalion, 21st Field Artillery. Initially, some reluctance clung to the crews, as they were attached to the familiarity of the previous model. However, this hesitancy was short-lived, and they swiftly embraced the true power of the M102. Weighing a mere 3,300 pounds, a significant reduction compared to its 980-pound predecessor, this new model shed nearly 3/4 of a ton from the World War II-era howitzer. As the Vietnam War escalated, the older weapons gracefully faded into the background, gradually replaced over 4 years. In a remarkably short period, the M102 howitzer emerged as the United States Army's standard artillery weapon, symbolizing progress and modernity. But in which wars was it used? Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please give it a like and subscribe to the Ancient Talks for more videos on mysterious ancient subjects. Let's continue now. The M102 howitzer played a significant role in the Indochina Wars, where it was used by the United States Army divisions, South Vietnamese and Cambodian forces in their fight against communism. It was first introduced during the Vietnam War and stood out with its lightweight aluminium chassis and quick rotation swivel base, which was a significant improvement over its predecessor. The M102 quickly proved its effectiveness on the battlefield and delivered impressive performance. One of the key advantages of the M102 was its lightweight design, making it easier for soldiers to handle. It could be swiftly transported to remote fire support bases by helicopters, or even dropped with airborne units using parachutes. In Vietnam, American artillerymen effectively utilized the M102, especially when employing the devastating M546 APAS-T round. This round, nicknamed the Beehive, released a large number of small projectiles called flechettes, causing havoc among enemy forces in close-range engagements. In 1991, during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the 82nd Airborne and 101st Airborne Air Assault Divisions deployed over 100 M102 howitzers. To support their operations, artillery commanders used CH-47 Chinook helicopters to airlift the howitzers, along with a substantial amount of ammunition. The Chinook helicopters remained with the batteries to provide ongoing support. The M102 howitzer continued to be used in its traditional role of indirect fire until the early 2000s, when an Arkansas Army National Guard Field Artillery Battalion deployed it in support of operations during the Iraq War. In 2004, the 1st Battalion, 206th Field Artillery, stationed 17 M102 howitzers at Camp Taji, located just 22 miles from Baghdad. On one notable occasion, the 206th Field Artillery provided fire and counter-fire missions in support of the operations of the 29th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, which was part of the 1st Cavalry Division. The M102 howitzer has a remarkable legacy. Over 1,200 units were built at the Rock Island Arsenal before production ceased in 1970. An additional 22 models were constructed for export in 1980. By 1985, the United States Army had 526 M102 howitzers in its inventory. However, in subsequent years, the BAE Systems 105mm light gun, designated the M119, replaced the M102 as the standard howitzer in frontline service. Despite being phased out, the The M102 is still used by the National Guard and the Marine Corps, but in very limited roles such as firing salutes. An interesting development took place in 1970 when the United States Air Force began testing a modified version of the M102 howitzer as part of the PAVE Aegis program. The aim was to use it as a new weapon for the AC-130 gunship. The cannon underwent modifications to enable firing from the left rear side door of the gunship. In 1971, these modified weapons were integrated into several AC-130E aircraft, which were subsequently put into service. The combination of the AC-130 gunship and the M102 howitzer proved to be highly effective, with a combat history that started in Vietnam, where the aircraft destroyed over 10,000 trucks and provided crucial close air support. During Operation Desert Storm, AC-130S delivered close air support and defended air bases for ground forces. These gunships continued to play a vital role in combat operations throughout the turn of the century in places like Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan, and other conflict zones. While the mounted version of the M102 howitzer is no longer actively used by the United States, an exciting development occurred in January 2022. The United States Naval Surface Warfare Center Dahlgren Division announced the successful design, development, and delivery of an upgraded 105mm gun aircraft unit specifically designed for the AC-130 gunship. This new weapon enhances the effectiveness and safety of ground warfighters, while the AC-130 provides close air support, air interdiction, and force protection. The NSWCDD engineers collaborated with experienced gunners and technicians, gathering real-time feedback during the design process to ensure the success of the upgrade. The introduction of this upgraded gun system for the AC-130 gunship ensures the continuation of close support capabilities in future military operations, carrying on the legacy of the legendary M102 weapon. How would the results of wars be different if the US military didn't have the 105mm M102 howitzer? Wasn't it an artillery that could defeat enemy forces within just a few minutes of the battle? Let us know how effective the M102 howitzer is in your opinion. Would you like to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to the Ancient Talks and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos that educate you on some of the enigmatic and unbelievable ancient objects and phenomena. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.